With Tales of the Jedi coming out in less than a month, now is the perfect time to really immerse yourself in the characters that are going to be involved, and I have a list of 5 things I think you should read before it's released on October 26th. Please keep in mind, this list is not chronological or in release order. I've listed things in the order that I believe they will be most relevant to the plot that we're going to see in Tales of the Jedi. Alright, so first up, and probably the least important, is the young adult novel Padawan. Even though it's almost 100% centered around Obi-Wan Kenobi in his early days as a Padawan, and takes place I believe well after when the Dooku story will most likely end in the show, there are multiple moments in the novel that allude to Qui-Gon Jinn sharing a similar mindset to his old master and his pretty consistent friction with the Jedi Council. Throughout the novel, and one of the driving forces behind the plot, is that Obi-Wan believes that Qui-Gon Jinn will follow Count Dooku and leave the Order. If you have already read the other novels on my list, and are just looking for something to tide you over, this was actually a pretty decent read, and might be worth your time. Again, in a similar vein to Padawan is the Age of Republic Qui-Gon comic. Like Padawan, it's a story about Qui-Gon Jinn being disappointed in the direction that the Jedi Order is headed. He thinks that the Jedi are just weapons for the Republic and pets for the politicians. He even goes so far as to confront Yoda about it. Not getting the answers he wants from Yoda, he travels to an unknown planet and receives his answers directly from the Force. It's a fantastic read, and I think an important one. It's also super short and can be read in probably less than an hour, so don't skip on this one. So I think the next 3 are all very important, and honestly I had a hard time picking an order to put them in. Master and Apprentice is a novel about the relationship between Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think it's going to be important not only because we get to see the relationship between Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan comparatively to his relationship with his own master Dooku, but because consistently throughout the novel we get flashbacks to Qui-Gon's days as a Padawan under Count Dooku. This book is also chock-loaded full of great information on the Jedi prophecies, as we find out that Dooku was very into studying them, something he would pass down to his young apprentice. Even if none of this information ends up becoming useful, this book is a must-read and probably my favorite novel personally in the entire canon lineup. So obviously a book called Ahsoka is probably relevant to a show that is at least 50% focused around the character, right? Takes place around a year after Order 66, with Ahsoka on the run from the Empire. Beyond that though, a lot of fans are speculating that the book's final villain is the same Inquisitor we see at the end of the Ahsoka novel. It's even possible that the final portion of the show, from Ahsoka's perspective, at least, are directly taken from this book. It's a fantastic novel for any Ahsoka fan. It's also a really good look at the early days of the Empire and what life would have been like back then. And the most important book I think you should read before Tales of the Jedi is Dooku Jedi Lost. And when I say read, I mean you should actually not do that and listen to the audio drama instead, because it's amazing. The book covers almost all of Count Dooku's life, from his time as a youngling through his early days of his knightship, all the way up to his time during the Clone Wars as a Sith Lord. I'm honestly not sure how they could even make Tales of the Jedi without touching on some of the stuff from this novel. I think it will be incredibly important if you're looking for something to better flesh out your understanding of Count Dooku as a character. This book is great at helping you understand who he is and why he is so disappointed in the Jedi. It's also just a damn good book, to be honest. Anyways guys, make sure to sub and like if I was able to help you out today, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.